Welcome to Life on Maui. I'm your host, Stephen Freid. My guest for today is Izaak Tyrrell. He's the owner and trainer extraordinaire at Upcountry Fitness in Haiku. I've been training with him for the past 3 or more months, and it's been the best gym experience I've ever had. Welcome to the show, Izaak.
How you doing, Steve?
Good, man. It really is. It's a pleasure working out with you, and I'd say that one of the things that is the most special is the fact that I feel like you treat me, and I imagine everyone, completely like an individual. I mean, I really feel that you address what I need. You inspire, you push, but totally in harmony with my needs. How do you get that kind of intuition? How does that work for you?
It works off experience, basically, you know. So I've been in the industry 10 plus years now, and in that 10 years, I've worked with over 1,000 clients easily between, you know, California and here in my career. So once you work with all those people and you start to learn bodies and the way they work, you can actually almost get to the point where you categorize them, you know. And once you have a kind of idea about these different bodies, and you know, most of us are kind of, we sit down too much or we twist this way too much, and so then you come in with a general idea what's going on with this person, and then you got to get to know your client. You know, what's this client really want to do? And then you start to pick out the different things that they like and what they like to do. And so for you, it was kind of to take, you know, one, we try to focus on posture and strength and balance and core, but there's a general foundation that almost everybody needs. You know, for us, what we think is everybody needs that one foundation. You need to be able to stabilize your spine. You need to be able to control your body in space. So to teach you that, but to make you kind of enjoy it at the same time. I think what it really reflects to me is when we started, it's like, oh no, I can't do that.
That came up a lot. That came up a lot. I can't do that.
I can't do that. And for a trainer, that's like the driving motivation for us. It's like, I really thrive on making people do things they think they can't do, you know, and teaching them how to do it, and making them not even know they did it, and then bringing it back up later on in the weeks to come. Remember when you said you couldn't do that, and now you just did it 15 times? You know, so once that happens a lot, you know it's going to happen. You know, and I like to tell a lot of people, it's like, I show them the future. It's like, you're going to do this. Show them some crazy exercise or movement pattern. Oh, no way, I'm going to do that. Next thing you know, you're kneeling on top of the ball and having fun, or standing on one foot without falling over, or squatting without falling over, and you know, this kind of thing. So
absolutely,
you know, it's you know, it's experience. Experience makes it.
I think experience, and also another quality you have I think is really something, is that I think you really listen. I think you really listen to when, you know, because I remember the first times they came in, and I think you pay attention, and that's not something everyone does.
No, definitely not.
We're just talking about Izaak and what a doll he is and what a great trainer he is.
He's just an incredible trainer. I love him. And sometimes I just get a session with him just because he's so much fun. I just love to have fun with him. And then he also knows exactly what he's doing. It's what he do for you. It's totally different from what he do for me. What else can I say? He's an incredible guy. I love him. He's changed this entire gym. The atmosphere in this gym is someplace where you love to come. It's my favorite place to be.
Yeah, and I think a part of this goes into something we were talking about with haircuts, and for you, tattoos.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. You know, for me in the tattoo world, and like we're talking about haircuts, it's like you interview that person who's going to work on you, and you know, for me it's in tattoo world, and if that person has any you know, adverse, bad, negative, oh maybe I can help you, or that might be there something, no, you're fine, you're not hired. But when somebody has that genuine passion, no problem. I look forward to working with you, and I can't wait to do that with you. Those kind of things, you can feel that right away.
Absolutely.
You know, and so that's for a client. For me, it's depending on what kind of clients they are. So now there's no client I can't help, you know, and that my facility can't help. Doesn't matter what state of physical fitness you're in, if it's even post-rehab and stuff like that. You know, we work with people who are, you know, wheelchair and debilitated, and they're coming out and the doctor said, I can't do this ever again, and yeah, they do it again. You know,
and there's a picture in your gym of an older woman boxing with you.
Yep. So that's my Eleanor right there. She's famous.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And also not just all manner of professionals. You know, working with chiropractors or, you know.
Yeah. You know, I like to feel we have something to offer anybody. Doesn't matter who you are, you know, and what profession and what your knowledge base is. You know, a lot of professionals in the health and fitness industry come to us so that we can help them with their personal bodies and with their practices. You know, I've had apprentices that have worked under me that are physical therapists, but they come and study what I do and what we do, and you know, so they can bring that back to their practice, and vice versa. We work with a lot of them, so we can learn that. You know, so as long as everybody's furthering their education, you know, that's kind of what I like to teach everybody is, no matter where we start, my main goal is to teach you almost everything I know.
Yeah.
I'm 10 years ahead of you.
Yeah.
So you're never going to catch up to me, and I'm always going to keep learning. So that we're going to have this constant progression. I'm going to be able to keep teaching you something new and keep forwarding and advancing you. At the same time, I'm advancing myself on the background.
The fitness master. It's phenomenal. So something we mentioned in our first show, there's a first show we did together, is what an amazing facility that Izaak has. I mean, it's crazy nice, and there's class all for the same membership. There's classes offered, yoga, on and on and on. There's a whole keiki space that's incredible, and you know, some of the best equipment anywhere. A client and a friend, Michelle Sewell, was recently in Los Angeles, and she could not find a gym as good as yours.
And that's the goal, you know. For me, I ran in big gyms, and you know, we used to call them boxes, big boxes, you know, like, you know, hundreds of square thousand feet, 100 treadmills, you know, 2,000 people a day working out. And from the experience of working in smaller gyms and big gyms, and you know, lots of people, the little amounts of people. For me, I took it as a trainer aspect, you know, and if you're a trainer, you want the right equipment. You want the good stuff to work with your clients, and you want a great variety of it. And so for me, when I started to design my gym, it's like free motion is you know, one of the equipment we have. That's one of the best, you know, training equipment. And then, you know, to get the right ellipticals and right treadmills, and then and have the variety of all these different things to train your clients, because you have to constantly keep progressing them.
And you have power plates.
Power plates, you know, that's new to the fitness industry right there, power plates, which is whole body vibration training. And you know, and all this equipment's expensive, you know, but it's not even the expensive part about it. It's the knowledge that needs to be behind it to teach people how to use it right and make it. I mean, you can have a Ferrari, but if you don't have a, you know, driver's license and know how to race a car, it ain't gonna do you no good.
Yeah.
So this kind of thing. So that's why I teach a lot of people when they come to the gym. You can come to our gym, and our gym is state-of-the-art for sure, and we have the best equipment on the island, but if you don't know how to use all that equipment very well, you might need some help, and that's where our staff comes in, and you know, me and my rest of my trainers.
Yeah, the whole staff is just great. I mean, really friendly, really helpful.
Love Upcountry Fitness, and so excited when Izaak came and took it over and really revamped the whole facility. Great community here, and just all around good vibes, and a great place that's really motivating to work out.
Well, okay, I'm going to kind of flip it over to you, because you know what questions to ask me at this point about my progress.
There you go.
And it's been an incredible past 3 or 4 months. It really has in every way. I could feel it's changed me on all the levels, you know, mentally, physically, you know, emotionally, you know, just all the levels. Something about being committed to this process has been very helpful.
Yeah. So when you first came in, you know, Steve was an anti-gym person.
Very much.
I want to be outside.
Right.
I want to be outside.
Right.
And I tell everybody we want to be outside, you know. And you only train in the gym to be better outside the gym. And that's like one of my key things I work. Anybody I talk to, the first time I tell them, it's like, we're going to work out in this gym so you can enjoy life outside the gym. And so no matter what we do in here, it's to make your life better outside. And for you, it was like, okay, how am I going to get this guy to commit to coming to the gym when he already doesn't like it? Right? He didn't even have to walk in the door.
It was the first thing I said, I think. I think it was the first thing I said.
I'm not a gym guy.
Right.
But, you know, what I find is working for you, and you're going to answer these questions for me, but, you know, what did you feel that turned that tide? When was it in the routine? And how many days, how many workouts that it feel that you said, you know what, I do enjoy this. This is working for me. This feels good, or the challenge is there, or, you know, can you explain to me? Because I always want to hear. I know I just see the results, and that, you know, I teach people, you know, I teach you how to talk to your bodies, but I never really sat and asked anybody like, what time did it switch where you went from anti-gym to pro-gym?
Well, this is it's going to be an interesting answer because I'm thinking about it as you speak. This is sort of an analogy. If someone sits at home and they meditates, it doesn't look like there's a lot happening in one sense because it's all happening inside. For me, I've gotten so much from being outdoors that the idea of being indoors and working with machines didn't seem very interesting to me. But it's actually an internal experience. It has very little to do with the machines or the inside. There's something that and you asked me how long it took. I'd say maybe 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, for something to flip and for me to feel like really genuinely, I like the way I feel when I leave here. Or even not even when I leave, but halfway through. I like the way I feel, whatever it's doing. I feel good. So that's the motivation, you know, it's that feel good. I like the way I feel from doing it.
There you go.
And I feel stronger and I just feel more energized and everything else. And I guess one of the things I've come to realize too is that there's something to be said for kind of a group experience. You know, I guess this is more to do with home because I've tried doing it at home. There's something to do with being in an experience where everybody's working out. Yeah. And it's, yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know, there's all this home workout, and you can stay up late at night, and like a P90X, and the weight shaker, and Thigh Master, and whatever, those kind of things. And I tell people, that's all great, you know. If you do it, it'll work. It'll work if you do it. Consistency is your best friend. But what happens at home? What do you do at home? You answer the phone, you cook dinner, you take care of your kids. You have all this, your life is at home. So you have many distractions. What do you do in the gym? There's nothing else to do there but work out, you know, and everybody else is doing the same thing. So you have this environment of health and fitness, and then you have these, you know, these coaches like us as trainers with all the education to help guide you through that. So obviously you're going to get the best result when you come to a facility that enhances that, you know, and promotes that, right? Where at home it's like I'm doing my set maybe, and then the phone rings and it's an important phone call. I have to take it because, you know, life will stop, you know. But at the gym, they never have that, you know. And then I like to say ours is, you know, there's a lot of gyms out there, and there's a lot of gyms have a bad energy, you know. There's some,
I completely agree.
And so it's like I was wanting to always ask you, you know, I was on the way here, like, you know, I got to ask Steve some good questions, and I was like, I want to ask, what is the feeling that you get when you enter our gym? When you come in the door and you check in with the staff, what's that first thing you think?
It's a great question, actually. It feels, there's a word here that we know here, but for people listening on the mainland or around the world, it's called Ohana. Ohana means family, and it's very welcoming. And I would say that the thing that I experience when I go in is I feel very welcome. It's very friendly. And I'll tell you a couple things not to minimize, and I think part of it is because of your location, is that all the windows are open. Mm-hmm. It's not this closed building with air conditioning on. You know, the windows are open. You feel the air coming through. Most of the time it's natural lighting. I love that. That makes a real difference for me. Yeah. So those are some of the things I like. You know, as soon as I come in, I feel like, that's great.
Yeah, we kind of pride ourselves on a free air facility, and we're blessed, you know. We have trade winds that blow, you know, 300 plus days a year. And sometimes it backfires on us, and I will say, you know, sometimes you get the smoker walking by and I go crazy on that, you know, but you know, the free air facility is definitely huge for us, and we love it. And then, you know, for where we pride ourselves, and it's great that you say that word, Ohana, and that's kind of our mission, is to have that feeling, that Ohana, that aloha kind of feeling when you come into our gym. And it's not like, you know, you're trying to look better than the next person, or, you know, you got to lift more weight than that person, or who's looking sexy today kind of thing, you know, because we have it all at our gym. You know, we have the pro athletes of the world, and then we have, you know, grandmas and grandpas. Absolutely. Working out side by side, doing the same exercises. You know, I can get, you know, 75-year-old clients of mine standing right next to a 20-year-old person, and they'll do the same thing. And you know, I'll put it, my 75-year-old might be able to take them sometimes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
You know, and then what part of your body, I mean, not part of your body, but like, what do the changes you felt in your body? Like, in the beginning, what was like the biggest weaknesses that you've overcome that aren't your weaknesses anymore? Like.
Okay, this is big, and you mentioned it back at the beginning of our interview, posture. I would say that, you know, and I've been to chiropractors a lot and so forth. I mean, I'm tall. I was tall and thin growing up, so I wanted to be on the same level as people, so I tended to stoop to make eye contact. And, you know, but posture. I've gotten adjusted and massaged and deep tissued, and I'd say that, you know, the exercises that I've gotten with you have made me more mindful of my posture, and my girlfriend, Adele, I mean, best possible, you know, we were walking on the beach, oh, your posture looks better.
There you go.
I mean, you know, that says it all. So I would say for me, posture is big. And just a sense of more strength and well-being. I just feel stronger.
I like to call it functionality. I just feel more functional.
Oh, and more balanced, too.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't want to, just all these things you have, you know, to these exercises that at first were like very destabilized. It felt like, oh, I can't do on one foot, and you know, but I'm feeling more stability.
Yeah. So, you know, that's the groundwork for us. It's posture is huge, and no matter what, you know, and posture is basically, can I stabilize my spine and keep it in the most optimal position? No. And if the spine isn't stable and strong, right, the rest of everything doesn't matter. I mean, and you'll see a lot of this come up. So a lot of people will build muscle, you know, and get bigger, but they aren't stabilizing their joints. And there's a certain point where that muscle is going to only get as big as it can before you have to stabilize your spine. And a lot of people get hurt. It's an injury cycle. You know, so you come to the gym and you start building, like they call a castle on the marsh, right? And so after a while, the walls are going to break and it's going to crack, and that's usually a knee or back or a shoulder or something that's going to give out. Whereas our approach is, we want to build that foundation and lay it out and stake it and pour cement and make it nice and stable so you can build a skyscraper or a little Ohana, I don't care, but you have to have the same foundation. And that was, you know, a lot of what we did with you. And you got to think in the beginning, did we even really use any machines in the beginning?
No, we didn't. We didn't use machines for, I'd say at least a month. Yeah. No, you weren't working with machines at all.
You know, and so there's a lot of things you teach people. It's like, you know, a lot of this work, and I try and create the daily practice, you know, your foam rolling techniques, your corrective exercises, your corrective stretches and stuff like that, to create that posture and balance. So when your body has all those length tension ratios, right, you know, muscles are tighter and lengthened and shortened, this is balance game. So what you say in balance, and balance for you is like, can I balance on one foot, or can I balance on that half ball, or can I balance on that? For us, it's like, is their shoulders back enough, and is their pelvis rotated right, and is, you know, balance in their muscle systems and their structures. And once you have balance in your body and everything is moving and shortening and lengthening at the same time, we can make it go faster or slower, you know, anything can happen after that. And so I like to tell a lot of people, especially in the weight loss world, you know, and that's kind of the big, you know, industry, you know, weight management, weight loss. And if you're not stable enough and you can't control your body well, right, you can't work out hard enough to lose the weight you want. Because if you do, you're going to hurt yourself. You know, so let's take a while, you know, it's a marathon in that way. Like, let's get you nice and stable. And you look at, like, you know, towards the end of our workouts, what were we doing in the beginning? Laying on the floor, swimming on the ground, tucking our tails, drawing our belly button in. What were we doing towards the end of our workouts? Throwing balls all over the place, jumping on things, beating things up, you know, as you get into that level. Could you have done that first workout in the beginning without potentially getting hurt? Probably not. You know?
Yeah. Well, again, I'll reiterate, that's one of the things I really appreciate is the fact that there's such a level of care from the beginning that it is that sense of really starting at the foundation going up, you know, and, you know, the rolling on the foam, you know, rolling out the muscles. So, you know, and all of that is really important.
Yeah. And that's what we're trying to put out there, you know. And there's a scientific formula that, you know, the body is supposed to move this way. And we're trying to, and there's special people, you know. I was born this way. I had this injury. I broke this,
sure.
you know. But, you know, we're going to find our way around that. I totally just lost my train of thought on that one. I had a good question.
Oh, I'll bet you. I'll bet you got a good question. But, you know, I just want to reiterate again while you're thinking of that question. I just really want to reiterate that that I used to, in a previous incarnation, I was a massage therapist for a while, and I worked in a beautiful facility in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and they had all great trainers and everything like that. I mean, qualified, but I just can't tell you, it's just so different coming to this gym. It really is. You're Isaac's wife, yes?
Yes. Yes.
And you have 2 kids with Isaac?
His ideas are amazing. I mean, he thinks about these things, and I'm wondering, how did you come up with it? And it works, because people are here, and it's great people, too. That's what I like. I like that the gym isn't, you know, it's very family, and you're here to work out. You know, it's not the, I like the atmosphere as well.
You know, we really pride ourselves on that. There's trainers out there, and I'm not putting down any trainers out there in the field, but our trainers are just a little bit different on the way their education and their experience. Most of our trainers are massage therapists, trainers, you know, athletic trainers as well. They wear multiple hats, but they stretch their knowledge on. And all of us are trying, the most important thing we're working on is, you know, that posture, that correction, that foundation, you know, and so, and every one of us wants to get our clients to the space where they can move freely. So the whole no pain, no gain thing is really, to me, it's BS.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the right way. The only pain, and like I told you, the pain you should feel is soreness. You might be sore in a certain, but you know, those muscles haven't worked very much, and maybe they haven't done that many times yet. And we got to wake them up and strengthen them. But the whole no pain, no gain concept is not there. We want pain-free movements. That's the motion. And once you can move without pain, then you can move a lot more and push a lot more weight and do like that, and then change body compositions and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we like to pride ourselves on, is getting those people that come in, you know, the people that are scared of that, you know, I don't want to hurt. And yeah, you're going to be sore. If you haven't worked out for a while, of course you're going to be sore. It's like if you do anything new. I do a new movement, I'm sore as heck, you know. But you know, you do it a couple times and you build that up. You know, you could barely do 5, and then you do 3 sets of 15. You know, with those simple little exercises. Oh, I can't do another one of these.
Yeah.
What do you say is your favorite mode of exercise that we did? What was the kind of the favorite? What was like the ones you look forward to?
Interesting. Well, I'll tell you, just currently, the ones you have me currently doing, there's this one where it's this chopping wood kind of thing with resistance, and I love the way my body feels doing that.
It's because it's really explosive.
It's
Is this
explosive.
the hop and chops one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that. And then there was another one we were working, I guess I like the explosive ones, the medicine ball.
Yeah.
Boom. You know, I really enjoyed that a lot.
And so we call that's called reactive training to us, or power training, which is, in the fitness world for us, there's this pyramid, right? And the pyramid is built off of the bottom of the pyramid is stability, and then the next level on top of that would be some strength, and then the next level would be power. And so you can only create as much power as you have stable and strength. Right? So what we did is we built that foundation of the pyramid huge. And then we started putting the strength bricks on top of that. And then they were solid. And then look at what happened at the end. Now we can produce that power. That power would not have been there if we didn't create all that. And then you go through cycles, you know. So what we'll do is we'll take you back down again and build that base out bigger, and then keep working our way up. And that's kind of how periodization and how you can design your programs, where you're constantly progressing. And that's another thing too, and I'll ask you this, is there ever a time that you came and worked out where there wasn't something you had not achieved before? Like, I haven't done this. We taught you something new every time, I should say. A new progression every single time. Like, was it monotonous? Like, are we going to do 10 sets of 10 again? Are we going to do this one again?
No. Conversely, you know, anything but monotonous. You know, I would say that one of the things, well, that I like personally about working with you is that you really keep it mixed up and you keep it fun. So I never had an experience of monotonous. I mean, I've had an experience of, you really think, I mean, I don't think I can do this, and then finding out I can, but no, you're not someone who is in any way, shape, or form monotonous to work with.
And that's how I tell a lot of people, is you come to the gym and do the same thing over and over and over again, your body's the master adapter. It's going to plateau. It's going to adjust that. We live in the desert. We live in the snow. It's the same human body. They adapt to their environment. So when you come to the gym, your body's on this constant, I'm going to adapt to this environment. So if you get on the elliptical and you ride that thing for the first time and almost die, so you come on and get it again and again and again, then it's easier. And now you're doing that 45 minutes, no problem. You need to get off that elliptical and go do something else that was hard again, so you can constantly adapt. So you can come to the gym every day of the week. I call them, you know, the gym rats, and those people that come and do the same thing every day. They're not progressing anymore. You might be maintaining, but after a while, you're actually going to be slipping back. So when we train with us and our styles and our classes and everything, you have to have a constant progression. I call it mastering. Once you master a movement pattern, you got to change it. You got to make it harder. Somehow. And the harder could be, you know, in the standard way in training world, it's maybe 10 more pounds, 10 more reps harder. Ours is more neuromuscular and demanding. It's more, okay, now you can do that on 2 feet, can you do it on 1 foot? If you can do that on 1 foot, can you do it on this half wall? Can you do that
on no feet? Yeah, no.
Exactly, you know, that's the ultimate goal right there. Yeah. But, you know, so to keep those challenges coming and keep them, then every once in a while you got to step back to the beginning. You know, remember these when we first did it? Let's do those again, make sure they're still there. You know, so if you have that constant challenge, like I say, when you go to the gym and you're striving to achieve something every time you go in there, like, God, I couldn't do that last time, I want to do it. And then once you do it, to have that person to work with you and ask and challenge you again. Okay, you know, I teach a lot of my clients that, you know, I've worked with for years. Now I have them on to, you know, 6-week programs. I say, here's your program. You can't do it all right now. Kind of like you're on this phase right now.
Yeah.
Here's your program, and when you master that program, and it's easy for you, then I want you to come back to me, and I'll give you the next level. Yeah. And we'll constantly do that for the rest of your life if you want to, and that's how it'll work. It'll always have something to work towards.
Yeah.
And that's what the experience, you know, it's like life. If you're not progressing, you're dying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and plus, just as you know, I feel like you've given me enough tools that I can actually, at this point, mix it up for quite a while. You know, I can go back to some other ones and mix it up, and so.
And that's kind of what I like to work with people, is like, in the beginning, I highly recommend anybody going to, it doesn't matter my gym or any gym, you know, you get as much personal attention as you can in the beginning of your fitness career, or, you know, your challenge, or whatever you want to call it, because you're a dry sponge. You want to soak up as many movement patterns and get the right techniques and the right form and the right, you know, positions, and make sure you're activating the right muscles and do all that. So, you know, if you can see your trainer 2, 3, 4 times a week for 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 weeks in the beginning, do it, because then from there, like yourself, you know, you're going to be able to take that and run with it, and then you're going to have that foundation, or a lot of us call it the toolbox. You know, you have your toolbox full of exercises, and you know how to use them all, and you can push them and bring them down and add weight and stuff like that. But you really want to do that, and a lot of people, like, it's one of my biggest pet peeves is, you know, I have to get in shape before I go see my trainer. I have to get in shape before I get a trainer. Trainers get you in shape, right? Yeah. Trainers are going to teach you how to get in shape right. So you're going to come in there to the gym, and you're going to learn a bunch of bad habits and funky form and learn, you know, going backwards. Yeah, maybe you're coming. The good thing is it's consistent. That's great. I'm glad you're coming. But let's make that efficient, you know. So if you can be consistent, then I can teach you how, or me and my staff can teach you how to take it to the next level. But don't be scared of getting fit with a trainer, because they're going to help you the right way. You know?
That's wonderful. And one of the things I can say is that there's just such a buzz around the island to do with you and Upcountry Fitness. I mean, I've never heard people talk about a gym experience like that. There's really like a buzz, like a warmth, like, oh, I love it. I really like going there. So I really want to congratulate you on what you've created here on Maui.
Thank you.
You have two beautiful kids, great wife, and you've just created a wonderful Ohana experience of this gym of Upcountry Fitness. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Absolutely.
You know, and for me, it was, you know, like you say, I know the answer to the question, right? So if you gave me that chance, I know I was going to make you feel the way you feel. I know we can do that. You just have to give me the chance, and you got to make the commitment. You know, so if you're committed and you'll come in and you'll give us opportunity, you'll be just like Steve and feel great.
That says it. All right. Well, I so much enjoyed this interview. I hope you did too. And welcome to come back for our next episode of Life on Maui. And for today, aloha.
Call me crazy, but I'm never giving up my dreams. No matter how far away they seem, maybe crazy is the secret to my mad success.